Cool. Hi everyone. Myself Akshat, Y22. Currently, मेरी intern at PwC. That's in technological consulting domain. So आज का session will be taken by all three of us, Raga, me and Natik. And resume के बारे में we will have general discussion कि resume में क्या क्या point होने चाहिए, क्या mistakes करते हो तुम resume बनाते हो जो नहीं होनी चाहिए. And जो flow रहेगा वो ऐसा रहेगा कि initially we'll be discussing general थिंग्स अबाउट रेज्यूमे कि क्या क्या होता है, सैम्पल रेज्यूमे कैसे होता है. एट द एंड डोमेन स्पेसिफिक जाएंगे. सपोज आई विल बी टेलिंग अबाउट कंसल्टिंग and other two will be telling about your techno managerial and finance role. Okay, cool guys. Start करूँ. So this is about all three of us, Natik, Raga and me. Pin Mechanics, HUL and PwC. These are basic slides for you to just go through that. I'll just go through them once for all of you. These are pre-checks that you should keep in mind. Keep your font size constant, like throughout your PPT, wherever you are writing the content inside your boxes or directly bullet points. Do keep them at same font size, A4 size. These are normal instructions. Just go through this one when I will share the PPT. These are the section that we'll be having today. Introduction, then what all things you should include in your resume. Start with, I'll show you a sample resume. Yeah, so this is a sample resume of one Siddharth. He's a Y21 who is currently joining BCG. And on the right side, we have of Natik. See, start with your basic introduction about your name and everything. Then comes your academic qualification, your work ex, research if you have done major competitions, POR, extracurricular projects, and these are all the sample things that you should have in your resume. Starting with at the top, you will have your introduction. In introduction, make sure that you mention your branch, your LinkedIn profile, your mobile number, and your email ID. These are compulsory informations that you should have in your top, including your branch, as well as the academic qualifications, your 10th score, 12th score, as well as your current CGPA and current branch. These are must to have in your top heading as your resume. You can change other orders, like if you want to write workx at the top, if you want to write workx in the middle, if you have some other thing which is more, if you find कि ये इससे भी ज़्यादा अच्छी चीज़ है, so you can write that above workx also. But just starting रहेगी, that will be your introduction and your academic qualifications. Those are must. In academic qualification, like here you can see like scholastic achievement, the next section that you should have. In this, if you have a good, I mean, under 5,000 or 7,000 JE advanced rank, I guess most of you have that. So make sure to write your JE advanced rank. And if you have a good mains percentile, make sure to also add that as well. Any other research work which you have done, suppose you have won inter IT medal or gold medal in any other competition or research work, or suppose 10th and 12th in NTSC and KVPY, and all those achievements you should write in your qualification section. Natik, you can take on.
Yeah. Hello, guys. I think you all might be nervous during this intern phase. So I think ANC is uh, doing many sessions to get your nerves calm. So as Akshat explained in first few slides about the introductory part of the resume, so I'll go through the two main parts of the resume, that are work experience and the projects part. These are the two central parts that you need to have in your resume, because these are most important while getting you shortlisted for a particular role. Obviously, CPI is one thing, but then comes projects and work experience, which are very much important. Also, I will request all of you to go through the first slide that contains some general points, because that you need to finish each point in a single line. That's very important. You either have full stop at the end of each line, or you don't have the full stops at all, and be uniform everywhere. So these are the general points that you do need to go through. These are the pre-checks. You I request everybody to go through this once. Okay, Akshat, move to work experience one. So yeah, work experience. Generally, for non-technical role, I prefer everybody to keep a work experience as the first section, as it's very important in both consult, techno manager, and finance role. So in work experience, if you have a work experience, try to make it in a tabular form, like it's written here, like an objective, approach, and impact format, uh, and try to include some numbers in the uh, impact section, so that it could specify what all results you have given in your in previous experience. So the work experience did not need to be a corporate experience. It could be a research intern, or research intern, whether it be a surge intern or prof intern, or it be a research intern outside IIT Kanpur. It's also useful. If you have a corporate intern under your belt, then you can also add them. That will be very helpful. Now, consult uh, require, if you have a work experience in any at any as a managerial role in any position, then that is helpful in all the three non-technical roles that we are discussing today. So the key point is, you specify the internship name, you specify what type of internship it was, then you, like it's a research internship, then then what was the name of the intern, like the project of the intern, then they specify the prof name, and then you start with objective, approach, and impact section. So this is important in work experience. Don't try to write it in a bullet points, because that's not very uh, lookable. Like the tabular form is more impactful in resume when you write work experience. Now let's move to project section. Well, I don't know about the consult part, but in finance specifically, the projects are one of the key parts which gets you shortlisted for your different internship roles. Like I can tell you the examples of two companies, Nomura and Citibank. They directly do resume shortlisting. So they see your projects, your CPI, and mainly the projects and work experience they usually focus on. And usually there are very less students in finance domain. So yeah, it helps if you have few projects under it. So the projects could be course project, club projects, research projects, summer projects, like surge internship also could be a part of this, and self projects. These are the different projects. If you have course projects that are very if you have some course project or research project under prof, try to keep them at top, then followed by club projects and self projects. So this is the order that you can follow while writing projects. Again, the project could be in a tabular form or in a bullet point form. That depends on you. If you think you can specify all the objective, approach, and results from a particular project, then you can use the tabular form. But it's my opinion, if you use a tabular form in one project, then try to be consistent throughout. Otherwise, you can directly write it in the bullet points, because that's more uniform for uniform to see. Like it gives more readability to your resume, which is very much important. Also, you can see in each resume the points are completed in a single line. You have to complete your point in a single line. That's very important. Don't try to push it in two lines. If you are pushing it in two lines, convert it into 2 points. But try to keep it short and specific to the points. Let's move to another next. Yeah. So courses and technical skills. So this is another one important part of your resume. So technical expertise you write in the similar format that's given. So you can write the languages you know, you can write the software and libraries you know, and relevant coursework. You can specify the key course, the important courses that you see that you have done in your IIT Kanpur coursework. Uh, for non-technical, I can say uh, one of the probability courses or ML courses is will help you give an edge. So try to include those courses if you have done any. So you can go through this. This is a simple part. You can copy it from the previous resume and try to add it in those only. Don't try to. Uh, I guess Gaga could continue with POR and extracurricular parts.
Just a second, Raga. Karthik, just a bit outside, we'll take it in the end. For your question, I don't think we can write UGP as a research intern. UGP you can write in your project का सबसे पहला project, undergraduate project.
Yeah. UGP is in key projects. It's not a part of a internship.
Raga, you can.
Yeah, okay. So, hi everyone. I am Raga. I think I've been given enough introduction. So, Akshat, can you actually go back to the last slide? I wanted to mention something. Yeah, so guys, in the relevant courses, you can also mention some of the certifications that you get, probably, ML certifications, and provide it in the bracket key, it's a certification. And a lot of people do this, that they also mention if they get an A or an A star in the brackets. So that kind of shows that you're very well versed in that course. So yeah, let's move on. Coming to positions of responsibility, again, this is very important for especially consulting and techno managerial roles. So what you have to do is, I'm pretty sure all of you might have a lot of PORs, especially those of you. So make sure that the tabular forms, whatever you're writing, those are your main PORs. That is your third year PORs. So those you can write in a tabular form with leadership, initiatives, and impact. So make sure that you're again introducing a lot of numbers in it, that what impact did you do. Again, don't try to over exaggerate anything because it doesn't look good. But the other positions of responsibilities that you have, maybe a second year POR, you can add them in the extracurriculars. So yeah. Yeah, coming to extracurriculars, again, this is important for consult and techno managerial roles. So this kind of, separates you from the rest, right? Because ऊपर का जो भी है, I think it would be more or less similar for everyone. So make sure that you're bringing your true self out in the extracurriculars. And it's also like mention it in a tabular form again and divide it into, sections. Like यहाँ पे they've done contests, literally volunteer. If you were part of film or photography, you can add something like that. So yeah, jo bhi points you felt like you could not write above and they define you as a person, add them in the extracurriculars. So yeah, next slide. So these are the final checks जो सबको पता ही होगा अब तक. But जो भी you're writing in your resume, make sure you know all of them, because we must have done projects, I don't know, a lot of months back and you forgot a lot of things. So make sure that जो तुमको पता है वही लिखो. And the rest is, of course, get them checked by your seniors, and don't do it at the last minute, because seniors might be getting too many resumes at once and it would be hard to pinpoint mistakes in each one. Right? And yeah, the rest of the things jo starting ke slide mein the, make sure you follow them. Yeah, now I think Akshat will tell you about consulting.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Raga. Okay, guys, now we'll move on to the specific to consulting, what all things to look for and what all. In consulting profiles, there are 5 to 6 companies that do visit our campus. Some of them are mainly your MBB firms, and then there's Accenture coming up, then there's PwC, and most probably from your time, Deloitte and few other firms will also be joining for internship. So in consulting profile, your relevant skills, relevant courses, and your technical skills are not required to be written. They mainly focus if you have a good work experience or some exceptional as in you have done a project under a professor of any other college, any good IIMs or international project maybe, or you have a very good third year POR, and extracurriculars are very important consulting profile. I have seen seniors who were just shortlisted based on their extracurricular activity. So make sure you have your extracurricular section properly framed. I will go now point by point into this. This is the first thing that is important, that you should add something which is unique, a peak that you consider. Suppose for some people the peak might be ki that guy is in any, suppose, CSC, electrical economics, or any top branch, and he has a CPI of 9.5. Or even if he's from a middle or any other branches, he has a CPI of over 9, 8.5. So that is considered a peak. Then any startup experience that you have, suppose by yourself, or any good work experience you have, social projects, NGOs, these are all counted. Because see, non-technical skills में the most important thing is what you have done on ground. Like consulting profile में they don't look for कितना computer के सामने बैठ के that guy has done work. They definitely look for good projects that you have done technical wise and with the professor, but they generally look for activities which you have done on ground. That could be a POR, that could be a social work, NGO work, and your participation in top competitions. Like suppose you have participated in Inter-IT or any good international competition. Even you can write good national competition as well. Suppose you can also write that suppose Product Club has organized a competition and you were top 3 in that. So you can definitely write that I have won 3rd position in a product management competition organized by a Product Club, and who were the sponsors in that, who were the taking team, who were the final judges. Like for my case, I had 2 very good startup experience. First was Suidaga. I was co-founder of that. So I wrote about that. I had 4, and make sure to write all the things in boxes. Like if I will show you Siddharth ka resume. He has everything written in boxes. See, this box, this box, this box, this box, this box, this. And this was a small volunteer work, that's why it's in bullet point, but everything is in uh, boxes. So make sure you have everything written in boxes for consulting profile. Companies do prefer these type of resume rather than these type of bullet points for consulting profile, I'm saying. Make sure you have everything in boxes. Like in my resume, I had 4 to 5 boxes, proper boxes. See, one was that I'm currently working with Startup Incubation Hub. So I've written that in, there was no impact because it hasn't been completed. I mean, there was no conclusion to this because it's an ongoing project. That why I hadn't written impact, but I've written objective and how I'm approaching that. And Suidaga, I was a co-founder there. So I wrote all the things that I did, what were the objective, how did I approach it, and what was the final conclusion. Like we were the official merchandise partner of so and so club. We sold this much items. We collaborated with this. We partnered with various organizations. I mean, this is quite specific to me, but I'm telling you how to write stuff. The next very important thing in consulting profile is importance of number. Make sure that you have hell lot of number written in your resume, but those number you should be able to define. And don't write random numbers, but you should have a lot of numbers in your resume. Just like see for this point. Suppose see, I could have also written that I research Indian market and evaluating vendor to optimal quality balance scale, but I've written this 50. Try to include as many numbers as you can: 10 plus, 5 plus, 300, 5 lakh, 3 months, 6-month internship, 4 lakh funding. And also, if I will show you in Siddhant resume, suppose see for his POR as a manager of events, a 3-tier team, 80 plus secretaries, 150 volunteers, 5,000 people, 100 plus startups, 30 plus startups, 20 venture firms, 250 startups, incubator, investor. So INR 60 lakh, 4 conclaves, 1.5 lakhs, 10 NGOs, 6-member, 2-month, 5%. So these are very important things that you should have in your consult wala resume. Include as many as numbers as you can, but don't write random numbers. Well, if suppose the company member asked you that you have written this feature 10 plus branch specific things, or any numbers you have written 5, 10, 20, if he asks you to justify that number, and if you failed it, so like उसी point पे पूरा interview खत्म हो जाता है. So don't write random numbers, but include as many numbers as you can. Don't use random numbers. Write something which you can define for your interview. Cool. Now, do include action verbs in your first part of your sentence while writing. Suppose see the action verbs which I have used: conducting, designed, secured, research, established, featured, engaged, expanded, official, sold. And see the action verbs which everyone uses. Now, these are quite important when you are writing planned, organized, achieved, managed, conducted, collaborating, spearheading. So make sure you have action verbs in starting of your sentence. These are so important in your consult resume. Like, don't write leading a team, like spearheading a team. These are very small things. You might say, yeah, it won't make a difference to a company. That company guy leading a team and spearheading a team won't find any difference. But it actually makes a difference in consulting profile. Because in consulting, companies also do look out for how good is your speaking skill as well as vocabulary. What are the words that you use in your interview? Those matter as well. Not only how fluently you are speaking, but the words which you are using. If you're using two basic words, they will have a negative impression of you. Like secure, collaborating, crafting resources versus making a resource plan. So make sure to include action work in just starting of the sentence. And the fourth very important part for consulting is have your good extracurriculars. In the extracurriculars, you can have your sports, any sports achievement. Suppose you have won a medal in inter-IT. Udghosh mein you have won a medal. You were a team of institute basketball team, suppose. Sport, music, dance, any competition that you have participated, your social work, leadership activities. Suppose for me, I had these competitions. I had 2 to 3 more competitions, but I had in these 4 competitions in which I secured a rank. Also, see that I have written Global Health Prize. I have written the prize, how many members were there, who organized this. Suppose this was a product management competition. This was hosted by Product Law, but it was in association with Merlin AI. So I wrote Merlin AI. Student Gymkhana hosted this. Then I had few esports achievements like that. You know, written. I was vice chair also. So make sure to have all those things. Suppose this is one of your seniors' resume. He has these many social works, like food donation may contribute. Companies do look out for these. If you think that these are not necessary and this won't make a difference, but actually social work is very, very important if you want to get shortlisted in MBB forms or have your good consulting again. Social work, your culture, leadership, volunteer. Suppose and you can write all your other stuff which you weren't able to write in your main resume. I mean, in the top section, you can write everything in extracurricular. So have your extracurricular prepared well. Suppose these are the medals which he won. So he has written this in a separate section. And so, okay, cool. If you guys have any doubt, we'll be having at the end for all the profiles.
Okay. Yeah. So the points about using action verbs and using numbers, I think it's centrally important for all the roles, irrespective of whether you are going for consult role, finance role, or whether it be software role. So you need to keep that point in mind that it's centrally important for all the domains. Now let's come to finance section. So the three most important points that will get you shortlist that are education qualification is basically your branch and CPI. I shouldn't say it, but it's quite important in getting shortlisted in various companies. Then another 2 points that are very important in getting shortlisting is work experience and projects in finance. So work experience could be any research internship or any corporate internship. But if you have it in a finance domain, that's very helpful in getting shortlisting, especially in few companies like Nomura, Citibank, or Fin Mechanics. These companies directly select candidates if they have a work experience in this domain. Then there are projects. Projects could be club projects, prof projects. If you have like in clubs, I would specifically mention FSC and STEMatics projects because they really cater to the type of projects that are needed in finance sector. So those two clubs projects are very important. Then other parts are not are important but not so important compared to these three sections. Well, POR and extracurriculars are uh, are more important compared to relevant coursework and technical skills, I guess. So let's go to the next slide. Okay. Yeah. So few tips that I will give to everyone for creating a resume for finance. One, you need to have at least one or two projects either in finance, either in macroeconomic topic, or in trading projects. I guess more like FSC projects where they give you the project like trading strategies or project portfolio optimization or Markovitch portfolio creation. So all this type of this kinds of projects are generally very central, and these are used by most of your peers. So if you can get a project in finance on macro topic like inflation or a recession kind of thing or corporate finance project, then that could be a really uh, differentiating point in getting you shortlisted, because many of your peers might be having projects in trading kind of things, because FAC and Stamatics usually offer projects in those domain only. So while for finance you need to have one or two projects in this domains, then any work experience, either you can reach out you can reach out to economics professors, IME professors. They offer projects in macro and finance, which I have written as my search internship. I have a macro project in my search internship, which helped me in getting shortlisted for Nomura and Fin Mechanics both. So yeah, so in my search internship, it was a early warning system development for banks. So I guess I will explain the project. Someone specifically asked me about it, because that will take a whole bit of time. But you can see, like, you have to specify the projects and object approach and result or impact point, because these are important. And try to mention few numbers out there, like what all result did you get, and how, like if you are improving something's accuracy, how much percentage have you increased someone's accuracy. That's important. Like another point that some companies directly do resume shortlisting. Right now, I could recall of Nomura and Citibank only. I guess there are more. Then there are companies like Amex and Standard Charter, which see if you have a finance project, that's great. But they specifically look for ML projects, because the role there is more like a ML analyst role. Amex is basically credit card company, which the main important thing for them is to analyze the credit risk of a particular counterparty. So for them, they deploy ML models in order to calculate the credit worthiness of a person. So uh, projects in ML and finance is important for it, and Standard Charter. And in general, for all the finance roles, the courses that you need to have is probability and statistics. This course that you have it's kind of very useful, because the rounds in the interview will definitely have one aptitude kind of round where you will be questioned on probability and statistics. If you have done a HSO 201 or MSO course in probability, that's more than sufficient to answer all those questions. Or you can go through few puzzle sites like brain teasers vagera. You can check around those. They have good, very simple and easy, medium, all kind of puzzles there. You can solve them. They are also asked in interviews, like Fin Mechanics did ask them. And then yeah, project you can take. Now, for someone who does not have a project as of now, they could do one thing. They can take the projects of that are offered by the clubs like FAC and Stamatics. Then they can learn them, and they can write them as a self project. Because there are already very few people who try to target finance roles as such specifically. Because in finance there could be two sections, like either you are targeting a quant role, which is more of a technical part, and you are trying to go into core finance, like if you go to Nomura, Citibank, Fin Mechanics, or further you can see, I guess, even Standard Chartered Amex also asks some, if you have those points in your resume, they will go and grill you on those projects. So yeah, for finance role, projects are very important part, because you are going to get grilled on those things that you write. If you have written any project that specify you have developed a strategy for options and produce this rates and this much profit. Then they will grill you on options. What are the Greeks in options? How did you manage it? If you did anything on recession, on inflation, they will grill you on intricacies of those points. Because, and if you pass those rounds, then more or less you are, and you will be selected for, because there are handful of guys who knows finance, especially in IITs. So yeah, that's important. Another thing that I included was Zerodha Varsity certifications. So this is again one differentiation that you can get. So certificate course like NISM Series 8 and Series 15 examinations you can give, or Zerodha Varsity certifications you can give. And you can, once your resume is created, now you can go in an interview and specify that this my this and this are my interests, and this stuffs I have done, because it's you who decide in which direction the interview will go on. If you go on and specifically tell that these are my strength and I like this and this stuff and I've done this and this, so they will grill you on those only. They are there to hire you, not to reject you. So be mindful of that fact. So yeah, in finance, I'll repeat again. Obviously, CPI branch is one key factor. Then there's project and work experience, which is another key factor. And if you have certifications, then that's third important point. So this is the structure that you can follow for creating resumes specifically for finance. Well, POR and extracurriculars is an important part. Since I didn't have much of a POR, it didn't bothered me even in my internship, as I was also shortlisted for quite a few companies. So it was not like having POR is important in finance. Well, it's quite important for techno managerial and consult role, but not specifically for finance. I can say that. And if you have any doubt specific to finance, what kind of projects I can do, how can I prepare, then you can obviously reach out to me with your personal questions. Uh, okay, so I guess Raga will continue with tech and tools.
Okay, thank you, Naitik. So, yes, let's move on to techno managerial. So, techno MK companies, they're only open to, as far as I know, electrical, mechanical, chemical, and a few of them are open for everyone. So, I know I've marked a lot of things as important. That is because it's taking into consideration both technical and management aspects, right? So again, you'll have, introduction, scholastic achievements. Your work experience and projects are very important to show the technical side and your technical skills. And coming to the managerial side, your PORs and your extracurriculars, they help in that. So coming to relevant courses and technical skills, this is up to you, honestly. uh, Technical skills, I'd say you can maybe remove if you do not have space, but if you're writing relevant courses, make sure that you're writing a lot of your core courses. For example, in electrical, you can write E330, power electronics, anything that is a bit industrial based. So before moving ahead, let me give a clarity key. Techno managerial roles, maybe there are like three divisions mostly. Like you'll go into either supply chain, research and development, R&D, or data analytics. So we'll discuss briefly each of them. What do they require? So yeah, let's move to the next slide. So this is an overview. So of course, you're starting with your work experience. This is very, very important. So you tabulate it, right? And you mention, as Akshat and Naitik have already mentioned, impact is very important. You have to mention those percentages or those numbers, right? And key projects, it is up to you if you want to write it in a tabular form or if you want to write it in bulletin points. Like you can see both of the resumes differ. And the next one is PORs. If you have a third year POR, I think you should have a third year POR for Techno M role. Make sure that you're elaborating about it really well. If you see the resume on the right side, she has like 3 PORs, right? So it's better to write all the PORs instead of she did not include any technical skills or relevant courses. But if you have only maybe one POR, then you can include your relevant courses section as well. And of course, the last very important thing is extracurriculars. I'll talk about this in the next slide. So, okay. So you should have a very sweet balance between technical and management skills. So let's talk about the technical aspect first. See, the companies that come for Techno-M roles, HUL, ITC, PNG, right? All of them, they work on real life products, FMCG products, जो तुम्हें हर रोज you see it in all of your grocery stores or things like that. So they really want that you can work on real life problems. So they'll actually love you if your work experience or your projects have a real life impact instead of some just laboratory work, right? So for example, I've done my second year intern in ISRO, and this was one question that was asked to me in the interview, and she highlighted it, that was your internship project actually implemented in the real life, right? So I think that will definitely score you points. Again, so let's come to the split wise, right? First is supply chain. Supply chain mein they expect that you have a bit of an industrial or team collaboration type projects, because most of the supply chain roles, they revolve around how you can optimize the entire production process. So that will really help. And in DNA, that is data analytics roles, make sure that you have ML projects, right? If you have any certifications, put that in. If you have done any search related work based on ML, make sure to drop a whole load of ML into DNA rules, right? And then coming to R&D, that is research and development. Core projects are a must for this, core projects or internships. And also make sure that you're putting in a bit of ML, because these days, research is also oriented around AI, right? So there's one more thing that, they are very brand specific, like Batti ke liye only, I guess, supply chain and DNA open up. So make sure that you're devising your resume according to the roles that are applicable for you. Okay. So yeah, in your work experience or your projects, make sure that you're emphasizing on the contribution. Ki tumne, what did you put forward in that team, right? Because they really want real time inputs from you. And also the impact and efficiency, very, very important. Now, again, coming to the projects, as I've already mentioned, R&D में core projects लगाओ, and in DNA ML projects. Supply chain, honestly, core projects and ML, all of the projects that you have, you can put them in, because it's not very domain specific, right? Also in supply chain, if you have any team collaboration projects, like maybe you are in ICG, right? And you've done something based on consulting aspects as well, that will also help you a lot in supply chain roles. So coming to the managerial side now, of course, they want someone who can be a front end leader, right? So your resume should speak about how good of a leader or a manager you are. It's okay to add in a few points that might feel like you're boasting yourself, but it will really help. For example, you can see यहाँ पे PORs में, this is actually Shreya's, she's a Y21. So in counseling service, she's written about her leadership, initiatives, and also mentoring, right? If you have mentored anything, that is great. You'll have a lot of scope in techno managerial then. And yeah, your second year PORs, please include them in the extracurriculars. Because if you do not have a lot of things to say, right, it's not really good to just write one point in a tabular form. So you can do that in the extracurriculars. And in the extracurriculars, like you can see, I was a secretary of ANC, so I've just included that in extracurricular activities because I did not want to write it in a entire tabular form, right? Make sure that you're involving activities that showcase your teamwork, how well you work with teams, right? If you've done any initiatives or social projects. Now, social is very, very important because, when you do social projects, they are that they've positively impacted a group of people. which is very important in techno managerial roles. Again, it's not a one man's job here, right? It's a group work, so that is really appreciated as well. So yeah, this is between techno managerial, whatever you have to write. If you have any doubts, you can ask me later again. Okay, now let's go to the next slide. Yeah, so these are the questions, by the way, which do not matter. I'm just emphasizing that, does smoking a lot of cigarettes get you into ITC, or do you have to sell Pampers if you get into PNG? So that is not at all true. I know that it's given, but I found this funny. So yeah, that is it from my side. If you guys have any doubt, I think maybe they can unmute themselves or write it in the chat box as well. Or
Guys, while writing essay winner, you just write concerned finance and just starting in your message, and then write your message. जिसके regarding पूछ रहा हूँ.
also, I think like we can give our phone numbers in the comment section if any of them want to reach us later. POR, can we write? Yeah, I think you can include it if it's with an established, organization or a club. Yeah, that you can do, but you have to mention it specifically there ki wo kya hai, because if POR mein you write it, right, that you know that I am the manager of this and this IIT Kanpur. So instead of that, you can write this NGO and mention it. Again, do it if you have good enough amount of points, or just put it in the socials in the extracurriculars.
I mean, if there's enough work to showcase, you can
Yeah,
write it in your PR section as well, but do include that it is from which college, which NGO, or you can write this as a project also. I mean, the second or third project, like you have done so and so work with NGO. This was the impact with the NGO. Similar lines.